Joining us now live, Texas Congressman Michael Burgess. Congressman, thanks so much for being here. That's a question. Is the president going to step in and use executive action to do something here?
Well, look, I do think you're going to see something happen after the current jobs numbers are released for the month of July. That will happen soon, and that will be an indicator as to either the economy has, in fact, continued to recover or has faltered. And I think that may provide some impetus. But sure, the president does have some things at his disposal he can do and he should do. What's wrong is the fact that basically Democrats haven't moved off a position in 2 months, and the country's changed in the past 2 months. Things are not the same as they were at the end of May bill to try to accomplish all of their political goals. That's not time for this right now. Where you need help needs to be applied. You don't need the same help today that you needed 2 months ago.
What message, though, does it send to Americans out there who do desperately need help when, they're seeing this back and forth and no one budging at all?
Well, realistically, the Congress should have done more at this point, but the fact that you basically put out an unacceptable product 2 months ago and then said we're not talking any further unless you meet our demands, that's not a negotiation, and I think people understand that.
Congressman, obviously a lot of the focus right now is should schools reopen? We're getting close. A lot of states, including Georgia, have already started school, or at least what their normal school year would be. A number of other states open in August. So should students and teachers return to the classroom?
I think the bottom line is there need to find a way that in-person learning will take place this year. It is possible, and of course the amount of testing that is now available is significantly more than was present in the months of April and May when schools were closed. There is the ability to do a great deal more testing. The fact that testing of low-risk populations can be pooled so that the numbers of people tested can be vastly expanded. All of that needs to be taken into consideration. But the bottom line is the need to find a way for in-person learning to continue. Too much is being lost. You only get the chance to go to first grade once, and you cannot lose that chance across the board right now.
You talk about testing. There are still areas in this country that are seeing days, if not weeks, for test results to come back. We're talking about school that's supposed to be starting in a few weeks for kids. I just don't see how we're going to make progress in that short a period of time at this point. Do you?
Well, the testing capability is there. It needs to be applied perhaps a little bit differently, and that is why the pooling of a low-risk population, where you pool a number of samples together to get the results, and once that group is cleared, then you don't need all of the additional tests that are being done right now. It is important that people who are in a tough clinical situation be able to get the clinical information they need in the time that they need it. But there are other ways of testing, tests that can be done more broadly. There are tests that perhaps in university labs and research labs that can be done and simply applied as a population measure. This population does not have the prevalence of disease that would preclude in-person learning in this school district at this time. That can be done, and that can be done with today's technology. And again, we'll need to find a way that in-person learning can continue. Distance learning is great, homeschooling is great, but there are some children who benefit from the in-school experience, and that needs to be available to them.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Congressman Michael Burgess, thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Great.
Thanks, Congressman. All right.